Bringing you the latest now on the Russia investigation. Amid new tensions between the Trump team and special counsel Robert Mueller, the president was asked overnight if he would fire Mueller.
No, I'm not. No. What else? What, are you surprised?
This comes after one of the president's lawyers claimed that Mueller unlawfully obtained emails from the Trump transition. Mueller's team dismissing the charge, and our senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas in Washington with the story. Good morning, Pierre.
George, good morning. You're right. Today, more evidence of increasing tension between special counsel Bob Mueller and attorneys representing the president and his interests. We've learned that Mueller's team has requested a series of emails sent by Trump transition officials this morning, and attorneys for the transition are crying foul and has sent letters to Congress alleging that the emails were illegally provided to Mueller. Mueller's spokesman has responded, saying in a statement, quote, "When we have obtained emails in the course of our criminal and ongoing criminal investigation, we have secured either the account owner's consent or appropriate criminal process." The debate comes after Trump attorneys last week pushed for the appointment of a second special counsel to look at Mueller's team, specifically whether there's bias, George.
And Pierre, there could be a critical meeting this week in this investigation.
That's right. Our sense is they might be trying to meet to get an assessment of where things stand in regard to the completion of the investigation. Some of the White House have suggested that the investigation is nearing its end, especially given that many White House officials have already been interviewed, George. But with the recent guilty plea of former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, we have no clear indication that this investigation is anywhere near over.
Okay, Pierre, thanks very much. Let's get more on this now from our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, here with me. Right now, let's start out with this letter from the Trump lawyers complaining about Mueller's obtaining these emails.
Well, it seems that there are two arguments they're making. First of all, that the organization that oversees the transitions, the GSA, never should have turned these over in the first place. That argument borders on frivolous because it's from their server.
Government documents.
Government documents. It's very clear when you begin the process that there's no expectation of privacy. And this is a federal criminal probe. So I don't think that's a real serious argument. The number two argument is the documents that they did receive involve privileged documents. Then they cite all sorts of privileges, one of them which doesn't make any sense, which is this idea that somehow there was a presidential communication privilege. You're talking about the transition.
He wasn't president.
He hadn't even been president yet. The one that's potentially serious is attorney-client, and that's always very serious. And that's the idea that some of the documents that they obtained should be protected by the attorney-client privilege. They're going to have to be very specific about what documents those were, very specific about who the lawyer was, etc. And we'll have to see. But even if something like that happens, the remedy is you can't use those documents.
But this first step was more a public relations maneuver than a legal maneuver.
I mean, the idea of going to Congress first makes it feel like a stunt. Because you're saying, oh, we want to make sure this doesn't happen again. Yet the next time there's a big issue about the presidential transition, we want to just make sure that, that just doesn't make any sense. This was a statement from Trump's team to the public saying, we want you to know we think this whole process has been unfair.
I think one of the most significant things of this letter is that the Trump team only found out about these emails this week.
Yeah, well, look, and that does indicate that they are not doing a great job of staying in contact with people who they probably should be to determine exactly where the investigation is, because we're talking about something that happened months ago that they're only finding out about in the last week.
Final question. This meeting between the Trump lawyers and Mueller's team, if it happens this week, significant?
I think the only thing that could make it really significant would be whether the discussion is, does Donald Trump come in and talk to Mueller's team? Otherwise, it's just a typical conversation between lawyers that I don't think is that significant.
Dan Abrams, thanks very much. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.